Hi, I'm Scott and welcome to my channel, Baking Geek. Today we're going to do a episode on traditional French Genoise. Now, if you're going to do like any type of gateau, Genoise is going to be part of that. It's what everyone, it's basically a traditional French sponge. Okay, so that's what a Genoise is, and without further ado, we'll get into it. Okay, so for your traditional French Genoise, I've altered the original recipe I did use many years ago. So this is the recipe here. If you're going to do basically a 24 centimeter gateau, this is the recipe you're going to need. So you're going to start out with 250 grams of sugar. You're going to start out with 8 eggs. Now I tend to use the larger ones, like 60 gram eggs. That'll do you, okay? And that'll give you roughly, what, if you use 8 of them, that's about a bit over 400 ml of egg. For the flour content, you'll need, you don't need to use any fancy flour. I just use plain flour, packet, plain brand. That'll do you, you know. What I do with that is I get some corn flour into it. So if you're going to use 200 grams of plain flour to 50 grams of corn flour, and I'll push it along a little bit with a bit of baking powder. So I'm going to use, I'll say 5 to 10 grams of baking powder and just a pinch of salt, just to toughen that up, all the egg albumin up, okay? So without any delays, let's get into it. So I've already got my ingredients pre-weighed and sieved. You want to sieve your flour, okay? Make sure, because when we fold it through at the end, you don't want to break down the structure that you've just built. Interesting fact is, when you add eggs at the beginning of a cake mix, you'll add volume to the cake mix. When you add eggs at the end, you'll add volume in the oven. So we want the volume in our cake mix at the start. We're going to bring it right up, and we're going to wait till the eggs and the sugar are fully formed and got a lot of air in them, and we're going to see some ribboning off the whisk. So for this today, I'm going to use a planetary style mixer. In the past, I have used a food processor with a whisk attachment. You can do it with that. Just, yeah, we're going to do it on high speed. So anyway, let's get into it. So what I'm going to do at the start is a little bit unusual. I'm not going to tip everything straight into the mixer. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to heat up the sugar and eggs on the stove first. This is a bit of a method I learned years ago. This will cut down a lot of your mixing time. So you combine your eggs in a nice steel bowl. Tell you what, I might even, while I've got it like this, just breaking those yolks down. While I've got it like this, I'm going to throw in a pinch of salt, and that will toughen up the eggs. Okay, salt's in. All we can do is hit the gas. Okay, now we want to gently heat our eggs and sugar. I tend to keep my finger in the mix at the same time so I can tell what temperature it is. So I don't want it to get too warm. What I want is just take the chill off those eggs, and I want it to be about body temperature, okay? Before we put it into our mixer and start beating it away. There you go, it's starting to get there very quickly. You want to keep it moving, otherwise it's going to cook your eggs. You don't want scrambled eggs, folks. The chill's going out of that straight away. I can feel it. Here we go. It's off. Okay. Right. What that's going to do is just going to speed up the mixing process. It's probably going to be about, I don't know, 8 to 10 minutes on the mixer, but we'll tell closer as we get there. Okay. high speed. Now this is going to be about, like I said, 8 to 10 minutes. I'm not exactly sure how long it's going to take. It's more of a look-see. Once you see the whisk ribboning with the sugar and it's up at its full volume, you'll know. Okay folks, we're getting to the end of our mixing here, and you can see that the volumes come right up on the mixer, and it is starting to ribbon, and it goes from like a yellow mixture to like a really nice pearly white, and you can see that shine that it's getting. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it back to first. Drop the mixer right back, so you've created all this really nice volume. The worst thing you could do is drop all that volume. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the flour in very, very slowly. And then right at the end, we're going to cut the mixer out, and then we're just going to fold it through at the end. And hopefully we'll get enough for a really nice gateau. Yeah, there we go. So just add that flour in nice and slow. I can see all these bubbles, they're really nice. Let it take it up. Now you will start to see the volume drop down just a little bit. Oh my God, it's creeping over the edge. It's okay. Back in. Okay, last bit. Right, here we go. Okay, we're just going to cut the mixer out now. We're just going to do the last bit of folding by hand. Okay. Now you can use the whisk for this too. Just grab the whisk manually and just use a folding action. It's starting to look really good. Now the only reason why this bowl is filling up is because I used 1.5 times the recipe. I really do suggest you use the recipe that I'm going to put on the screen at the front of the episode, folks. That is a beautiful Geniose mix. That is looking good, and that will go straight in the oven. Hopefully you've preheated your oven and you didn't forget about it. Alright, your hands get a bit messy in this, that's okay. So, we got a little bit, made a little bit of a mess. Okay, so this is for a fairly big Geniose, this one. I think I've got a 28 centimetre square tin here. There's going to be a nice big square gateau at the end of it. It's going to do between 30 to 40 people for this one. Yeah, there we go. Pour it all the way in. My God, this is going to be beautiful at the end of it. Let's do it. Okay. Clean the hands, then we go on straight in the oven. Okay. There we go. Now if you've done everything right, folks, you'll end up with a nice looking Geniose like this. Hopefully we'll get some oven spring out of it, but you know, I'm not counting on a great deal. We only put a small amount of baking powder in it, but like I said, you want the volume out of the eggs to get the volume in your cake to start with, okay? Anyway, we'll see. This will probably bake for about 40 minutes, I'd say. Okay, folks, so the Geniose has been in the oven for about 45 minutes. It's a large one, like I said. The time will vary depending on the size of your Geniose. So let's take it out. Okay. Here we go. So you can tell it's ready by it starts pulling in from the sides, and it'll start coming away from the side of the tin, cake tin. That is, hopefully you've lined your tin with paper, and I just use a spray to get the paper to stick to the tin. That's it. So what you want to do when you get it out of the oven is you want to take it out of the tin straight away. You don't want your Geniose to sweat, so you get yourself a nice wire. You turn it upside down for the wire. Let's get this towel happening. And you turn out your Geniose. Okay, take the tin away. Oh, that's going to be beautiful. There we go. And you peel the paper straight off. You don't want it to sweat in the paper. Some cakes I find, like if we were doing a mud cake, I'd leave it in the tin, leave it in the paper, just put it straight in the fridge to set. But we're not going to do that with a Geniose. We want it to breathe. There we go. There we go, folks. Traditional French Geniose. Look at the size of that. That's going to make a gorgeous gateau. Okay. Alright, thanks for tuning in, folks. Hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. Do whatever you want. I'll see you next time.